First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Mi, homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Dupten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to Amitabha, Tathagata, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva, Akshobha Buddha, and the Chitsun Milarepa. And to the 5 longevity goddesses of the Great Snow Mountain. Simu, Danzan Katso, Tutan Siddhi, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet. And we have many VIPs today who have been reiterated by the MC earlier, so we will not repeat here. So to all of our distinguished guests, good afternoon. And in Taiwanese,
这个这么沉长的一个法会，主要是做超度
grand ceremony
法会。
primarily is for Bardo deliverance.
那轮到我讲话的时候，
When it's my turn for me to speak, now it's already 4:35.
我今天有一个很特别的感觉。
I have a very special feeling today.
我顶上弥勒日巴的像
That this Milarepa image above me
的清秀，画得非常
was
清
painted
秀，
very
而
intricately
且非常的潇洒。
and very handsome.
非常的仰面，
The look of a young man.
so pretty。那我看到我
So
这边
pretty
是画的是
And then here is the
暗
painting
淡
of
无光，
me, very
脸色
dim
苍白，
and lustreless,
巴
lustreless,
巴一片。
pale
这
and
是
dark.
我所有的画像当中，
Of
我最
all
讨厌的一张。
My Dharma appearance, this is the
好
worst.
一点的照片不是没有。
It's not that you
为什
don't
么
have
老
better
是要画
ones,
这一张？
but
这个
why do you
最
hang
丑
this
的这一
one
张，
instead, the
我
ugliest
心里
one?
很不舒服。
So I'm not
这一
happy.
张啊，就是那个慧君上师拍的。
This was taken by Master Hui Jun.
拜托，用好一点的照片。
So why don't you use a better photo
真的，
that would be
你们现在坐
matching
在底下
to
看我的
Milarepa
照
at
片好
least?
看吗？
So does this picture look good? Good.
还很帅。
Very handsome.
好了，
So today, I want to transmit Milarepa Dharma. Everyone asks me a question. Why Milarepa placed his hand on his ear? They asked me this question. Before the ceremony, many people asked me why Milarepa had this gesture and nobody else does, just Milarepa. What is that for? Okay, let me ask the masters first. If you know, please raise your hand.
So
I don't know whoever this belongs to, I will give this. I'm giving away things today. So anyone of the masters who is able to answer, I will give you this. Why his hand is on his ear? Before his parinirvana, he is showing the last teaching to his disciples. That's not an answer. Milarepa's precepts are on his hand. Wants to show all his wound. I mean, his scars to his disciples. Actually, the answer is you have to listen to the words of Milarepa. You have to listen to the words of the lineage truth guru. The pith instructions and the pith teachings of the lineage truth guru is extremely crucial. You have to listen to it. And Milarepa was trying to teach us that. And the most important key point here is the oral instructions. Let me tell all of you. This morning, Milarepa told me a statement. Please tell your disciples that this ceremony is extremely important. You can drowse in the beginning part. Please raise your hand if you fall asleep during the ceremony today. Many people fell asleep. But now, when I started my Dharma teaching, please stay awake. Don't fall asleep. Because you have slept. So now you should be fully awake to listen to the oral teachings of Grandmaster Lu.
弥勒日巴他今天早上告诉我一点，
Milarepa told me this
今天是
morning
一个微妙的法会，
that today is
微
a
妙的
truly
法会。
marvelous
长
ceremony
寿悟天女大雪山，长寿悟
that the five longevity goddess of the great snow mountain descended
准备在
and
瞬间
they
要
have
治
prepared
好来参加的人的病，身上的病。
to swiftly, quickly cure and alleviate the sicknesses of all participants here.
所以今天呢是治病的
So
一
today
场演说，也就是治病的
it's a
一场说
Dharma
法。
teaching on curing illnesses.
啊，你们回去的时候啊，这一场法会完了，回去
And
以后，
after the ceremony,
感
when you go
觉
back
上
home,
你身体呢会不会突然间你身体的
you
毛病
will
突然间好了，
discover
一瞬间
that
就
the illnesses and ailments of your body will
有这一种能量，
immediately
有这一种能量降
be
下来。
cured. So there's such power for the ceremony today.
我祈求弥勒日巴尊者
I pray to Jetsun Milarepa
长寿无天，
and the five longevity
那人天
goddesses,
悟天
the Nine
大
goddess,
雪山长寿无
five
天。
longevity goddesses of the great snow
能够
mountain, to
瞬
please
间的
descend
治好
and
我
quickly
们每一个人的
alleviate
疾病。
and cure the illnesses of each of us.
在这里向弥勒日巴尊者
Wholeheartedly we pray to Jetsun Milarepa
长
and the
寿
five
无天
longevity goddesses of the great snow mountain.
祈求。
We deeply beseech you.
然后我讲一点弥勒日巴，我跟弥勒日巴的因缘。
Let me talk a little bit about my affinity with Milarepa.
以前有一位
First,
弥勒日巴大师传的作者，
in
叫
there
张
was
成基博士。
an author on
张成基
Milarepa
博士
biography
我那时候还没有
called the
到美国来，
Professor Zhang Chenji.
我差不多30岁左右。
Before I came to America, when I was about 30,
啊，我住台中，
I live in Taichung.
我住台中。那个时候呢，
At that
张
time,
成基博士
Professor
到我家
Zhang
来拜访，
came to visit me at my
希望
house.
我能够到他的一个房子配给的一个房子，
He wished
在
that I
八卦山
could
彰化八卦山
go to his house at
去
the
看那个房子的
Bakwa
风水
Mountain in
能不能
Zhanghua
住，
to check the
能不能
feng shui of that house, if
能
it
住
would
的
be
话，
appropriate for him to
他
live
就
there.
要住下；不能住的话，
If
他
it
就要
is
卖掉。
livable, then he would live in it.
我去看了
Otherwise,
他
he
的
would
风
sell it.
水，到了八卦山，
So I went to check the feng shui
我去看了他的风水。 回来
dormitory
以后
there，
回到我
at
的
the
家，
Bakwa Mountain.
他请求
After I
给他
got
做
back
灌顶。
home, he requested an
他是
empowerment
宾
from
州
me.
大学的教授，
He was a
张
professor
成基
at the Pennsylvania
他就是弥
University.
勒日巴大师
So this
传的
PhD
作者。
was an author of Milarepa biography.
我给他做灌顶，也给他皈依。
So I
张
grant
成
the
基博
empowerment
士
to
他
him
本
and
人是
also
大
let him
国
take
元
refuge.
老的女婿，
So This Professor Zhang was the son-in-law of the senior elder, and I don't remember his name though, of KMT party, a senior. And the senior told him, hey, you are my son-in-law, please don't follow any religion. Whatever officialdom you want, I can find ways to give you that, to become high officials in the government. But instead, why did you go to Tibet to study Buddhism? So this Professor Zhang was together with Mr. Chen Jianping, were the disciples of Karmapa and the Gongka Rinpoche, and they had been living in retreat too. So he wrote the Milarepa biography in Chinese. And it was the best book. And he gave that book to me, and reading it, I felt very touched. And then later on, at the place, I found a book about criticizing this Milarepa biography. So this book criticized Milarepa from beginning to end. So at that time I was very young and high-spirited. So I criticized this criticism on Milarepa biography. And you would be able to find these articles in tbpoye.org. So I defended Milarepa to clarify his attainment. So I stood up for Milarepa. So that was my affinity with Milarepa. So this morning, Milarepa made a special visit and brought the 5 longevity goddesses to our ceremony. And he said that they wanted to help true Buddha disciples. Anyone with ailments and illnesses on their body will be quickly alleviated. How many of you have read Milarepa biography? Please raise your hand. Have many of you read it? All of you have read. Can you see? Please stand up if you have read Milarepa biography. Many of you have read it, so I don't need to talk about it then. Okay, this is the end. But let me say 3 things. The 3 key points in Milarepa Dharma practice. First, at the time when Milarepa decided to transmit a certain Dharma to a great disciple, the first great disciple to practice Vajra.
有一个弟子，
And
第二个
then
大弟子
the second
修前
great
世法，
disciple to practice the transference of consciousness.
第三个大弟子
And the third great disciple
修圣乐金刚，
to practice chakra samvara.
第四个大弟子
And the fourth
轮到
great
Milarepa
disciple was Milarepa's turn
特别传授愤怒
to especially
给他愤怒
transmit
的法。
the wrathful
愤怒是谁？
Dharma practice.
金刚亥，
And that was Vajra
特别
Varahi.
传给弥勒日巴愤怒，
So he especially transmitted this
就是马
wrathful
尔巴
Dharma
上师，他
practice.
这样子，观
That was
所有
Marba,
弟子本
Guru
身
Marba.
的根气，
Based on his observation of the disciples' spiritual roots, he
不
transmitted
一样，
different Dharma to different disciples.
弥勒日巴所最开始的时候，他
And
得
at
到
the beginning,
马尔巴上师传给他愤怒，就是金刚亥。
Milarepa obtained the Dharma transmission from Guru Marba, the Dharma transmission of Vajravarahi, who followed Chakrasamvara.
跟金刚亥的
Grandmaster
这个
has
的
an
坛城，
altar or mandala of Chakrasamvara and Vajravarahi.
那么，所以呢，他的咒语
So his mantra
Om Beza 弥勒日巴空达尼尼说哈，空达尼尼是着火，
and Kundalini
着火
means
的
inner
本
fire.
尊就是金刚亥。
And the yidam for Kundalini or inner fire is Vajravarahi.
本尊就是金刚亥。
So Vajravarahi is the yidam for inner fire practice.
弥勒日巴是在西藏密
So
宗里
he
面
attained that.
最典型的一位实修者。
So of the Tibetan Tantrayana, Milarepa is the most typical
不用再讲
real
法，
spiritual cultivator.
为什么？
If
实修
here
最重要。
I would say there's no need to listen to more Dharma because real practice is the most important. You just go home right now
实修
and
最珍
practice.
贵。
Real practice is the most precious.
那些什么那个小老鼠上灯笼，拖油吃，
So the little mouse climbed up the lantern and drink the oil
下不来，咕噜
and
咕噜
could
滚下
not
来，是吗？
get down.
这种
And
事情，
instead
这种
I
小
rolled
事
down.
不用再去理。
So there's no need to worry about
弥勒
such
日巴完
minuscule
全
thing.
离开世间了，他不愿意
Milarepa had totally renunciated the
人间
mundane
听
world.
那些是是非非，
He did not
没有的。
want to listen to
他
any
一心一意
gossips
就
or
是实修。
chatters of the world. He was totally
他不做别的事情。
wholehearted and single-minded in his real practice. He did not do anything else.
他是真正的实修者，
He was a
典型的
real
完全最
true
典型的实修
cultivator,
者。
a true and the most
你看他
the real cultivator of the
很简单
highest
讲他的过
standard.
去，他的爸爸
Simply said about his past, his father,
弥勒会传，
Miller Huichan,
弥勒会传赚了很多的钱，
earned a lot of money. His
在
father,
贡堂西藏贡堂
at the
南
place
岸 called
Kong Thang Lan An. Milarepa father was Milar Sarap Khatching, and he was very rich and built a luxurious abode. And his mother, Nyangcha Khalchun, was very clear about enemies or foes. And he had a sister called Peta. They were very rich when they were young. And then later on, his father, Milarepa's father, passed away when Milarepa was 7 years old. So in his will, he asked the uncles to be the guardians, the trustees of their inheritance, and to return the inheritance to the children once they grow up. But nowadays, the greedy uncles would these greedy uncles return the money of Milara Sujap Khalchun to Milarepa? Is it possible? Because when someone has died and his money is at somebody else's hands, and just based on a piece of paper, is it possible to ask the money back? This kind of things happen nowadays. If you ask someone else to take care of your money, it will be gone. Even if you ask someone to invest for you, it will also be gone. It's hard to ask the money back once you give it away. So from then on, Milarepa and his sister became slaves. When they could not get the money back, the mother became totally hopeless and asked Milarepa to learn black magic and curses and to rain hailstorm. And Milarepa did master them because he earnestly studied them. And one time when his relatives had a grand wedding party, he used that sorcery upon them so that the buildings fell down upon all those people and created a lot of bad karma. And then he also could cause hailstorm. All the people of that Changyap area. Like hailstorm. So that he used the hailstorm to kill all the barley and the fields. So the villagers hated him. And then later on, he repented and seek the Guru Milarepa, the first Tibetan patriarch of Kagyupa. That was Guru Milarepa. And he went to Guru Milarepa to seek Buddha Dharma. And Guru Milarepa was very strict. And he treated Milarepa like a slave, like a servant. He asked him to build houses, a triangular house, a square house, a circle house, a circular house. So asked him to build. And after it's being built, he asked him to demolish it and sometimes have built. So that's how he tormented Milarepa. And we just now said that he had scars all over his body because when he was building those houses, he had to carry the huge rocks and dirt in order to build the houses with his own body, flesh and skin. Because Guru Milarepa knew about his grave karmic transgressions, his grave karma. So therefore he asked him to do this to eradicate his heavy karma. However, he was so steadfast and he persevered very strongly. And then eventually Guru Milarepa transmitted Buddha Dharma to Milarepa. There were 4 stages. One is the yoga of concentration. What should you do in that case is to be in retreat. Milarepa first went into retreat at the place of Guru Milarepa. So spiritual cultivation in retreat. He found that mundane affairs to be unreal, to be fake. There's nothing real. The body is the least real. You think that your body belongs to you. Can you control your body? No. When the time comes, can you control your body? No way. You think that you own your body. Can you control it not to age? It always ages. You think that your eyes belong to you. When it's time, you will not be able to see anymore. You think that your teeth belong to you. They will fall eventually. Your ears belong to you. Eventually, you can't hear anymore. You think that your mind belongs to you. Some people think so, but actually your mind is ever changing. Even your body does not belong to you. How could anything else belong to you? Nothing is real. Nothing is for real. Not your houses, your cars, your clothing, they will tear. Will be worn down. Nothing is real. And Milarepa could comprehend that, observe that. Can you? Nothing is for real in this world. a patient went to see a psychiatrist, and he told the doctor, please prescribe some medicine to me. Every night, I would dream of a group of mice playing football. And then the doctor said, try this medicine and take it before bed. And the patient said, can I start tomorrow? And the doctor asked, why? You can start tonight. Why do you want to wait till tomorrow? And the patient shyly replied, because we have the final game today. So what's the meaning of this joke? That human beings are in delusion. They don't know how to renunciate. You think something stays forever? Everything is ever changing. Nothing is unchanged. Let's look at the politics of Taiwan. Thinking of it, I find it very silly. I'm not talking about a specific person. On the media, there were 3 heroes. The middle one is the bald one, the Han one, and the police one, and the swallow. So everybody clapped. The 3 musketeers. They have no feelings of revolutionary. They're ever changing. When the dog bites another dog, their mouth is full of fur. You know, politics. Don't provoke any politics because they are heartless. They are totally heartless. They just cheat people. Simply, the 2 classmates from Banqiao Elementary School, and they sang the school song, and their brothers graduated from the same elementary school. But now they go like that. And everything changes. Nothing is unchanged in this world. If you can see through this, that's the second stage. Once you have mastered the yoga of concentration, which is extremely important because in our Buddhist studies, the most important thing is concentration or single-mindedness. And in this yoga of concentration is you have to be in retreat to focus on your yidam practice, deity yoga, and to be in spiritual union with your yidam. And the second level is the yoga of renunciation, and Milarepa was in this. He has renunciated all the drama or the games of the world. He lived deep in the mountains at the horse tooth white rock cave.
他先在布满白骸库里面，他修行。
So first he practiced at this
真的
cave.
是很苦，他离开人间，可以讲离开所有的人，动到
And
深山的
he
岩洞里
lived
面
in
去。
misery. He was
那个岩
truly
洞叫做
suffered.
布满
He
白
left
骸库。
the world and he stayed at this
衣服啊，
horse
他本来
teeth
是有
white
衣
rock
服，
cave.
衣服都烂掉了，修到衣
He
服都烂掉
wore
了。
clothing in the beginning, but he practiced until his clothing got worn out and deteriorated, and he had nothing to eat. All he ate was the green nettles, the seeds
吃到
and the
身体变
leaves.
成绿色，
He ate until his whole body became green.
大家想一想，
Just think about it.
他赤身裸体，
He was
那个贝
naked,
达，他的妹妹到最后找到他，
and eventually his
他说
sister
哥哥，
Peta
你为什
found
么不
him,
知羞耻？
and he asked
你
him,
的身体都没有什么遮的，
how come you don't cover yourself?
他没有衣服，
Because first he did not have any
没有
clothing,
吃的，
and he had nothing to eat.
住在
And
动
he
物库
stayed inside caves.
行，他用他的两只脚，
And he just walked everywhere. He had no transport.
那贝达跟他的哥哥讲，
So Peta told his
他
brother,
的
her
声音
brother,
很好，那个弥勒日巴的声音很好，所以他叫
but Milarepa
他喜欢唱歌，
had
他的道
a
歌
beautiful voice,
他
so
唱
his
的道
songs
歌
were well known.
是很有名的，他的声音很好，
He
所以他
had
小时候叫
beautiful
文
voice.
喜。文喜的意思就
That's
是
why his
听到就
nickname
欢
was
喜，
Mila,
听到
or
他
the
的
good
声音就欢
news,
喜。
which meant that
So Peta
anybody would be
认不出他的
happy
哥哥，
hearing
因为他
his
全身
voice.
绿的，而且
So
没有
Peta
穿衣
could
服。
not recognize her brother
你是
because his whole body was green and he
弥
did
勒
not
文喜，
wear
他说我
anything.
是，
So she asked
那你是
him,
我
"Are
哥
you
哥？
Mila the good
没错，
news?"
我是你哥
And
哥。
he replied, "Yes."
他妹
So
妹
you
跟
are
他
my
问他
brother?
那
Yes.
你为什么没有穿衣服？难
And
道你
then
不知道羞耻？
the sister asked him, "Aren't you ashamed of not wearing
他就唱
anything?"
了一首歌
So
给
he
他妹妹
sang,
听，
he sang a song to
身体
his sister
是父母所生，
that the body was given
而且
by
每一个人都穿
parents.
都穿衣服，都穿衣服。
Everyone
为
is
什么我不穿
wearing
衣服？
clothing, but
因为
how come
没
I
有什么
don't?
好羞耻的，
Because there is
这个才是真
nothing
实
to be ashamed of. Because this is
啊！我们现在每
real.
个人脱光衣服，
Okay. Now everybody, let's take off our clothes.
我告诉你，穿
Let me
衣
tell
服的人哦，不知道羞耻。
People who wear clothes have no shame.
既然是父母天生每一个人，男的就是那个样，
However,
女
we
的
were
也是那个样。
all given birth by our parents, and men look like that, and women look like that.
为什么你们要
Just like
穿
that.
衣服？
Why do we have to cover ourselves with clothings?
因为你们要遮住。
Because
穿衣服的人都不知道羞耻，就是说，穿衣服的人专
people
门
who
都是
wear
在干不
clothes
好
have
的
no
事情，
shame
所以才穿衣
because
服。真正
they
干好事的都不用
do
穿。
bad things. That's why they want to cover themselves. But the
你
people
们
who
听到会
don't
莫
wear
名其妙，但是
anything
这里面有哲学的道理
just
在
do
里
good
面。
things. So maybe you're puzzled,
真的。
but actually there's a philosophy in here.
你不知道那些大人物吗？
because actually this is quite philosophical. The great dignitaries or the great celebrities, the well-known people, they wear beautiful outfits. But actually they are shameless. But like us who just wear the Lama robe, at least we know a little bit. So actually wearing clothing, as we have said, is to cover our shame. You know, nude men are all the same, and nude women are all the same. If it's not because of the weather, I'm sorry. If you want to come to my house, please make a phone call first. Don't just drop by, because my house is like my underwear. I don't wear anything at home. Once I get into a hotel room, and then you knock at my door when I travel. First, make sure you call me first, otherwise, if you just knock at my door, I don't wear anything. So let me tell you, Milarepa did not wear anything, and he sang a song to his sister. It made sense to his sister, but people of this world are like that. Everybody has to wear clothes. And Peta was begging for some food because she was a beggar. So got some food for her brother and also got some cloth to give to her brother to cover his bottom. So this is called renunciation. What does it mean? It's to leave behind all the games of the world. A true spiritual cultivator, you need to renunciate the world. You don't want to be with people, the chatters of the people. You don't want to have afternoon tea. What is afternoon tea? It's just gossiping, chatters. When we have ice together, several people, what do they talk about? It's all about gossips. So when there is a human being, there's always chatter. Therefore, Milarepa went to the Horse Teeth White Rock cave. And many other caves, because he did not want to stay at any one particular cave. Many people would be visiting him, and he did not want that, so he left to a different cave. And his mantra, and Kundalini means inner fire. The mantra is Om Pecha Milarepa Kundalini Soha. So he had attainment of the inner fire practice of Vajravarahi, which was transmitted by Guru Marpa. And later on, before Milarepa left, Guru Marpa also transmitted Maha Mudra and also the 6 yugas of Naropa and Maha Mudra. And in the Maha Mudra Dharma, the first is the yoga of concentration and then the yoga of renunciation. So you need to practice until the inner fire is ignited. And eventually, in Milarepa's practice, he felt a certain spiritual experiences that he could leave behind his own body, and his body could enlarge or become small and could emanate several bodies, could levitate in the air. Next, there is a mudra for inner fire practice, and only Grandmaster knows this. Only Grandmaster has this. This is the mudra. So this mudra that I just formed is inner fire. Everybody thought that the inner fire in Tantrayana is like this, just one line, rising straightly. No. It is like pine needles. So it radiates like the pine cone surrounded by pine needles. So, like pine cone surrounded by pine needles. So that was the mudra of the inner fire. So with a mudra, a mantra, and the appearance of Milarepa above Grandmaster's crown, then you can perform the Milarepa deity practice, the deity yoga. This mudra only exists here at Grandmaster's place. Only Grandmaster has this. You would never see it at any other place. This is the mudra for inner fire. So Milarepa appeared and showed this mudra in order to practice Milarepa inner fire dharma. So first you need to practice the yoga of concentration and then the yoga of renunciation. And then once he knew that he had attainment already, that his body could enlarge and become small and could emanate and could levitate, and then your own look can change. So he knew he had real spiritual experiences. So at this moment is that you are already together with your Yida. You have become Vajavarahi. You could become Vajavarahi, or you could become Chakrasamvara, or you could become the 5 Herikas, and they all appeared, and you could become whatever you want, whomever you want. Grandmaster Lu once became Donghua Dijun, the emperor of the East. It could also become Guru Padmasambhava, Hevajra. The same with Milarepa. He could become the 5 Herukas. He could become all the Dakinis. And of course, furthermore, you could become the 5 Herukas, like you could become Yamantaka together with the Saraswati, or you could become Hevajra. With Nairyatma, you could become Kala Chakra. You could become Yamantaka. You could become Mahotara. You could become Guya Samaya. So you could become these 5 Herukas back and forth and back and forth, or you could become all the Dakinis. You could go directly to the pure Buddha lands. When you open the first page of the Milarepa biography, let me tell you a secret. Now Grandmaster is giving Dharma teaching here, but at the double lotus ponds, there is also a Grandmaster Lu there at the Maha Twin Lotus Ponds in Western Paradise. And in all the Dharma realms, there are also Grandmaster Lus. In each of the Dharma realm. Rechungpa was and Gampopa represented the son of Milarepa, and Rejungpa represented the moon of Milarepa. They're both great disciples. When Rejungpa was starting on the Milarepa biography, went to the Pure Land of the Akshoba Buddha, which is the realm of marvelous joy, to the immovable Buddha. The Akshoba Buddha was giving Dharma teaching, and Rejungpa went to listen to the Dharma teaching. And the immovable Buddha said that the present Milarepa is here at the marvelous joy realm. And Rejungpa found it very curious, because Milarepa is my guru, and he is in Tibet now. How could he be in the marvelous joy realm? But let me tell you that Milarepa had the body at the marvelous joy Pure Land, and another body in Tibet, and another body traveling around. That's how amazing Buddha's Dharma is. That's called the realm of one taste. That everything has the same taste. It's like the ocean water, the sea water reaches all parts of the world. And then when you try to taste it, then that's the taste of sea water. And you go all over the world and they all have the same taste. So let me tell you, if you can reach this realm of one taste, and then you provide deliverance to sentient beings, they would be very stable. You will not be dragged down by the sentient beings.
叫小明作文。
The teacher asked Xiaoming
他的题目是我的妈妈。
to write an article, and the title is My Mom, My
我的
Mother.
妈妈是一个多面体。
My mother is multifaceted.
在她的身上演了一部《西游记》。
There is
我妈妈的头发
the
像
drama
沙
of the
悟
journey
针
to the West.
卷卷的。
Her hair is like
就是悟净，
the
悟
monk
净，
Sa
悟
Wu
净
Jing.
简简的。她的身体胖胖的，
And
像
her
猪八
body
戒，
is
就像慧
heavy
君。
and round like the precept pig.
那
like
嘴巴
Hui
呢，像唐僧一样的
And her mouth is
唠
like
唠
the
叨叨。
monk Tang Sung,
唐
always
僧就是唠唠叨叨的，最无能唐僧就唠唠叨叨，
incapable,
啰里啰嗦的。这个脾气呢，很像孙
always
悟空，非常的猴急，猴子一样那么急的。
and her temperament is very rash, like the
小
Monkey
明讲，
King,
这个就是我的
always
妈妈。
lose her temper. And
老
Xiaoming
师在
said,
后面
that's
批
my
了几个
mother.
字，
And then
记
the
得
teacher
让妈
wrote,
妈签日。
please make sure that your mom sign on this article.
你看小明的妈妈，一
So
个面也是很多体的，它是综合性的。
Xiaoming's mom is multifaceted, it's a combination.
今天的卢师尊呢，一样，
And Grandmaster Lu
天上
today is the same.
又有个卢师尊，
In heavens,
地下
there is
又
Grandmaster
有个
Lu.
卢师尊，
On earth, there is a Grandmaster Lu.
十法界各有卢师
In
尊。
each of the 10 Dharma realms, there is a Grandmaster Lu.
这个就是因为了。因为
That's one
那时候
taste.
你到达一位的境界的时候，
When you reach the
你尽
realm
可
of
能地
one
去度化
taste, then you do
尽可能地
all your best to deliver sentient beings.
我讲多久？
How long
1个小时啦，那么快，
have I talked?
才讲一点点而已嘛，
An hour?
没关系的，重点讲
So
就好，
fast.
对不对？有手印，
I just talk a little bit.
Your
Well, it's okay,
Zoe.
just the key points.
Your
With the
Tadasing
mudra, mantra, and his look.
啊，你们观想不要观想这一幅，这一幅
Please
是慧
don't
经上师画的。
Visualize this one,
慧
okay?
经上师不是慧经上师画的，他照的
Because this
那时候是最
picture
难看的时候，
was taken by Master
照
Hui
出来是
Jun,
最难看的。他
and
们喜欢画这一幅。
it's ugly, but they always use this one, so strange.
有一个青年问禅师，
A young man asked the Zen
这
master,
件事吗？
have you heard about
青年，
the
那要
ghosts
怎样防止被
attaching to the
附身
body?
禅师
Yes.
说，前身抹大便。
How can I prevent that? Then you just smear
青年
poop
问
all over your
，why？
body. Why?
禅师说，因为
Because
人死不能复生。
this is a play of word of Chinese.
是一个
Because
成语。
once you die, you would not
人死
be
不能复
resurrected.
生
But it sounds like
就已经变成
the poop.
人死不能复生。
Then nothing can get attached to you. It's a play of words of Chinese.
现在讨论到我们宗派的事情，师尊已经
Now
75啦，
let's talk about
快
our
快
Tribhuda
就会没有
school.
啦。
Grandmaster's already
那
75.
将来
In
这
a
个宗
short
派谁来
moment,
领导呢？
he will leave. So who would
中国人
lead
去领导。
Tribhuda school, the Tribhuda
还要
Foundation?
找这个师尊怎么找啊？将来师尊
And
转
then
世
if
怎
you
么
want to
转啊？
find
他转到
Grandmaster,
哪里去呀？
and where would Grandmaster be reincarnated? Where will you be?
你看慧经又在讲，
See, Master Hui Jun said
问那个小孩子，你
something
最喜欢
again.
什么？
Ask the little kid, what do you like most?
你最喜欢美女，那个就是卢师尊。
And if the kid replied, I like beautiful women best, then that would be Grandmaster Lu.
你怎么那么了解我？
How could you understand me so well? Just now we had a few newlywed couples. In marriage, it's very important to have the same interests. So if fellow disciples get married and you cultivate together, then you have meaning in your life. Otherwise, it's meaningless. I have said that at 1, you were born in merriment. At 10, you're into your studies. At 20s, you're at the top of your youth. At 30s, you're into your career. At 40s, you start to gain weight. At 50s, you're at the peak of your life. At 60s, you start to have high blood pressure. At 70s, you start to lose your memory. At 80s, you start to lose balance when you walk. At 90s, you forget everything. At 100, you hang on the wall. Everybody is the same. Whether you're rich or poor, it's the same. Doesn't matter how big your success is. Whether you're a president or just a commoner like us, we're the same with the president, as the president. Everybody's the same. What's different? Once you cultivate spirituality, it's different. Then you would reach that one taste. Then you can go to the Buddha land. You can have attainment. You can have self-mastery. And you can go with the natural flow. Only this is different. The rest is all the same. How could there be meaning to that? How could there be meaning? There's this joke. The wife asked the husband, is this soy meat, is this braised meat good? Just so-so. And how about the fish? It's okay. And how about the tofu? Well, doable. And the wife said, yeah, can't you just say anything is good? And he replied, we're already an old couple. It's so tasteless. So for a couple to live together for a long time, it would be losing any interest. But if you cultivate together and have attainments together, that's the most important. When Milarepa reached 84, he had delivered many people, and he was very well known. Many people went to his cave to listen to his Dharma teaching, and there was a geshe down the mountain, and his name was Trump. Geshe is like a PhD. And he regarded himself to be the most knowledgeable one. And these people did not want to listen to his teaching and instead went up the mountain to seek Milarepa. So he wanted to poison Milarepa. So he asked one of his attendants to take a very poisonous thing, this Trump Geshe, and poison Milarepa. At first, Milarepa did not take it.
第二次他自己
And
觉
then
得
the second time,
他的寿算也差不多到了，
he
就是
found that
借这个
his
因缘
life,
让自己死，借这个因缘，他就
his lifetime is about to end, so he
吃下去，
made
他也
use
能
of
够
this
不死，
affinity and took the
但是他
poison.
还是借着这个因缘，
And
他
he
走
could
完这一生。
still live
他走
even
的
after
时候
taking it,
就
but
是在这个
it's time for him to die, so he used this opportunity and passed away.
叫做捡蛇库，那个地方呢，
And that
叫
was
做
the place
近巴吧，一个叫做近巴的那个捡蛇库，捡蛇库。
It was a cave where Milarepa died.
入灭的时候，曾经显现过很多奇迹出来。
And
他要到
during
捡蛇
his
库的时候， 很多的
parinirvana,
弟子说：“哎，
there
我
were
是把
many
师父送
miracles
到这里
happen.
来。”另外一个人讲说：“是我每一个人，
And someone
也就
said
密
that
日巴可以分很多的身，
So Milarepa
分出
could
很多的身，跟很多的
emanated
同伴
many
一
bodies,
起走到捡蛇。
and went with many of his disciples to
他
this
走到捡
cave.
蛇库的时候啊，他就是决定在捡蛇库里面这个死。
And then he decided to die there.
这个川普曾经去试探密日巴。
So this Trump tried
你
Milarepa.
有神通，为什么你还要
You
喝
had
到
transcendental power. Why
密日
then
巴曾
you
经把
still
他的
took
毒药逼出
my
一部
poison?
分到这个川普的身上，
You
川
know,
普就觉得
there's
简直就快要死了。
one time Milarepa spared some of the poison on this Trump, and Trump felt it and almost died.
这整个门都震动了。
And then he also spit some of the poison to the door, and the door trembled.
是这样子。师尊75，就是想要快走也可以走。
So Grandmaster is 75. If he's about to leave soon, he can, but he can also stay.
但是当我有一天呢、我非常讨厌这娑婆世界的时候，
But when one time I very despise this world,
他都是厌世的，他对于这个
because like Milarepa, all his life he
密日巴曾经
he
回到他自
renunciated.
己的故乡，
One time Milarepa went back to his
藏
hometown,
去看，整个村庄都变了，不是原来他的那个豪宅也变
and
了，
the whole village has changed.
什么都变了，
His luxurious house had changed too.
什么都变了。
Everything had changed.
像我一样，我回到我自己的最早的故乡，住了19年的
Like
高
me
雄。
too. When I went back to my earliest homeland, Kaohsiung, whom I lived for 90 years, I could not recognize it anymore. The street that I lived had changed. The house that I stayed was taken
我以
down,
前周围的环境像新兴戏院也没有了，
and then my surrounding, like the theater, all disappeared. And now there's only a post office who stayed.
大港都市场全部都变了，
And I
没有
was
一个我认得的人。
at the market, and everything changed. I
世
did
界
not
上
recognize
连四季
anything and
都会
anyone.
变，我们人也会变，
So
连同门也会
in
变。
this world, even human beings change, disciples change. Some went, some came.
只有是是非非不会变，
Only the
是非还
shadows
在，
and the gossips stay.
是非多得很。
There's so much of them.
实在非常讨厌这些是是非非。
I really despise all these chatters.
互相也没。
I really did. I really do hate them.
那
And I have no more homelands.
那就离开娑婆世界吧。
So once I'm sick and tired of the world, then I would leave.
也不足惜，也没有什么可惜的。
And it's not a pity to leave either.
那我觉得
Really.
我的思想跟弥勒之巴非常的接近。
My mindset is very close to Milarepa.
就应该走。
When the time has come,
差不多。
then I would leave.
弥勒之巴还活到84，我连
Milarepa
84都不到。
lived to be 84, but I will not.
真的呢，这个笑话也是。当我身边有了女人，才发现自己是一粒蛋。
A woman next to me, I found that I'm an egg. This is only meaningful in Chinese.
见到家长的时候，他父母说我是穷光蛋。刚刚结婚的时候，他叫我是傻蛋。洞房的时候，他说我是坏蛋。现在家用挺少。
She called me
the
evil egg.
生气的时候叫我去卖咸
Because Chinese loves to use this egg to
而且不管心情好不好，他都要说我是乌龟王八蛋。
And the jerk egg.
都是是非啊。
They're all just chatters, right? Meaningless chatters.
老爸对儿子两个儿子啊，
The dad told the two sons,
就要离开人世啦。
My
以后你们
children,
要
I'm
好好
about
的照顾自己
to
啊。
leave the world.
这长
In
子
the，future, you have to take care of yourself.
你那个遗产赶快分一分吧。
The eldest son said,
老爸就讲，
Why don't you take care of your
房
inheritance
子
now?
跟印章，
Well, I have several houses and one
房子留给老二，一兆就给你吧。
but the son of 1 trillion. The 1 trillion is to the eldest son and the houses to the second son. And the eldest son thought, this is not good. This is pretty good, 1 trillion.
为什么哥哥这么不孝呢？
And the second son
老爸
said,
讲，别
well,
拿，
the eldest son is
将来
really
你就
bad,
能够体会到
treat
老
you
爸的
bad.
苦心。
But the father said, but don't be sad, you will understand in the future.
这个大
How
儿子
hard
看
I
来
work at this. And then a few days later, the dad died,
遗照，
and the eldest son
遗
found
下来
out
的照片，
that all he got is just the deceased photo. It sounded like the 1 trillion. Everything is fake.
这一切都是假的，没有真实
Everything
的。
is not real. Nothing is for real.
留给你一兆还是遗照，也都是一样。
So whether giving you 1 trillion or deceased photo, the photo of the deceased is all the same.
昨天有人问我，你们家是
Yesterday,
谁在
someone
做
asked
主
me,
呢？
who's in charge of
这
your
先生就
house,
讲，我是一
family?
家之主。
And the husband said, I'm the
当
master
然
of
是
the
我做
house.
主。
Of course, I'm in
太太
charge. And how about your
我
wife?
太太少我一点，
It's just a little bit
她是
less.
一
But
家
in
之
Chinese
主。
sounds like less 1 dot in the Chinese characters. So she's the king of the house.
看到你没有听到刚才的笑话吗？
Did you hear to that joke?
我是一家之主啊，
I'm the master of the house.
你是一家之王。
but you're the king of the house. What time is it now? 5:52. It's dinner time.
跟大家讲，你只要有
Let me tell you,
心的，
as long as you have perseverance
我跟你保证，
and you're steadfast in your spiritual
你
cultivation,
一
I
定跟你的
guarantee
本尊
you
能够合一。
that you would be in union with your yidam, your main deity.
你一直想念你的本尊，
And if you're always
你本
mindful
尊
of
也
your
一样会想
yidam,
念你。
then your yidam will be thinking of you as well.
当你能够跟本尊合一的时候，
Once you're able to be in union with your
记得
yidam, remember
常常跟他合一，
to
他有什
always
么
be
能
in
力，
union,
你就有什么
to
能力。
frequently be in union with them, and you have whatever power your yidam has.
这时候你的接受就出来了，
Then, at this
你会感觉
moment,
到，
you would start to experience spiritual
只要像
experiences
本尊一样的回到本尊的净土，
that to be the same as
这
the
个是人生
yidam,
最
you can
有意义的
return
一
to
件
the
事
pure land of the yidam. And this is the most meaningful thing of this
大家
human
好好
life.
休息吧。Om Mani
So
Padme Hum.
please cultivate spiritually the best you can. Om Mani Padme Hum.